right, this is going to be an amazing video. We brought Darth Microtransaction along.
Hello,
Say what's up, my guy.
In the flesh, here I am.
And we're going to talk about the top 15 squads, complete teams. And the focus of this list is going to be for, what, Grand Arena and Territory Wars. Are you ready to do it?
I'm excited, man. Let's go through the list.
Okay, we're going to get through it quickly because otherwise the video will be 45 minutes long. So we're just going to kind of skim through it. Now, some of this stuff is really, really obvious. So we're just going to blaze through a couple of these first ones right here. Sith Empire. I think there's no question whatsoever that this is the best team in the game right now.
Yep.
You either have Malak or you do not have Malak. And if you do not have Malak, you can throw in Sith Assassin. What are your thoughts about this team? Do you use it on defense or offense?
This is easily a defense team for me. If you have this team, it's like the golden ticket. I got a golden ticket, right? And I'm just going to win the match.
Right. You can put this team on defense if you have it, and if the other team can't beat it, you win, and you could save all the rest of the teams that you have that are good for offense. I mean, that's like a known strategy, right?
That's basically what everyone does. I mean, everyone who's winning Grand Arena puts this on defense from what I can see.
Okay. Next, we'll go down to a Jedi Revan team. Now, there's a lot of different ways that this can be done, but I'm going to say the core of this team inside of a Grand Arena or Territory War scenario is going to be Jedi Knight Revan, Jolee, Grandmaster Yoda, and General Kenobi. But we put General Kenobi on the Padme team. But let's talk about those last two slots. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, the last two slots are really anything you have laying around for Jedi. You have to have like core three, and the last two can either be like a tank, like you can throw in Oben, Ezra, if you have Sabines, you can mix it up from the Phoenix, etc. Just whatever you got laying around can really go in the last two, and you'll be all right.
All right, because another strategy would be to use Bastila as a lead on another team. If you have enough Jedi, you can make another Jedi team, right?
Correct.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that Padme is going to pull away Jedi Knight Anakin and General Kenobi, and that team has to make the list because it is very solid on defense from my testing, especially when you use Barriss. All right, let's go to the next one. Like I said, we're going to just blast through these.
Get right through them. We got a lot.
All right, Sith Trio. Now, use the Sith Trio and any two Sith, right?
Whatever you have laying around, Savage, Darth Maul, just throw him in there.
Dooku, whatever you want. Use this team on offense or defense?
This is an offense team for me easily. I use this team always to beat Jedi Knight Revan, basically. Okay. If I don't have Jedi Knight Revan on offense or something, I use this team.
Yeah, Jedi Knight Revan is usually used on offense as well. Okay. Sure. Let's go down the list a little bit more. And, boy, this is where the list gets a little bit muddled. And I want to say that most people will be doing this team right here because this is the requirements for Malak. And I think this is what most people should do. But if you want to break up this team, this is probably the most annoying team out there to play against on defense. Which one do you use?
For me personally, I like to use the full Old Republic, but that's just because I don't have Vandor and L3. Like, I didn't have the luxury of farming them yet. If I had those characters, I would probably be splitting the team. But at the moment, I'm a real big fan of just the classic Old Republic.
Okay. And we're not going to talk about this team in too much detail, but this is one of the top tier defensive teams.
Yes.
There's a video up here in the top right-hand corner. There's only a handful of teams that can beat this team. It is beyond annoying with the revives, and it's super tanky, hard to do damage. You have a lot of auto-taunting with Zalbar and L3 debuffs, and some people will take out Mission and put Nest. Ultra annoying, and but I think most people are going to go Karth because you pretty much have to upgrade all these characters to get Malak, and this is just a great damage over time team. Lots of healing, lots of sustain, amazing defensive team, right?
Yeah, and they're kind of underrated, or not underrated, but they'll sneak up on you is what I'm going for here. If you're not sure about this team, or you don't own this team, or you haven't played against it before, it's really hard to gauge how strong they are, and you can very quickly lose like 3 or 4 battles in a row just trying to beat these people.
Did you see Cadrus right behind me duck down?
Yeah, he just...
He's sneaking up on me.
Out of the frame.
I had to look over my shoulder. Where are you going, my guy?
He's taking a coffee break.
Okay, we're going down the list, and this team right here, I do want to bring up this Padme team because I've done a lot of testing with Arnold, and yes, Empire can beat this, the free-to-play Empire team, but this team right here is crazy with Barriss. The sustain is over the top. This is a great team. Now, have you had any chance to test or go up against this at all?
I have not personally. I'm currently working on them. Like I double Zayed my Padme, and I'm going to be Zading Anakin, etc. So I will be using them, but I have personally no experience with this team quite yet.
Okay. And I suspect that there's going to be a rework for Mace, and maybe Barriss will come out of this team, or maybe it'd be really awesome to pull General Kenobi and put him back in the Revan team.
I agree.
But this team right here is something else. Personally, right now, I'm still using General Kenobi on my Revan team, but Padme is the real deal. The problem with the team is it takes 9 million Zetas to work. I'm not a fan of that.
Yep.
A lot of these teams are like that. Let's go down to...
Speaking of it, here's another one.
Yeah, okay, now, let's talk about Grievous. Now, most people had to put Zetas on Grievous to do the Padme event, and a lot of people are getting Droideka and B1 unlocked. I've also tested a variation of this team with Newt, which, I pulled out Magna Guard and it worked very well. And this team is largely unknown also. Now, people that have the droids, separatist droids, like Arnold's telling me that this team right here has won him many battles on the back line. Like, people just don't know what to do with it. Have you had any testing with the droids?
I have a little bit, yeah. I had the Gear 12, Grievous, B2, Droideka, all for the Padme event because I had 7-star there. And I'm really enjoying this team. I don't have the Zetas, unfortunately. Not yet, because Padme, like you're saying, it takes a billion Zetas. But I've used them. I think they're strong, and I'd be using them defensively if it was me. I'd agree with Arnold. Yeah,
defense. Okay, now, Rebels. Rebels. Now, this is a team I believe everybody should have. I mean, every single character on this is like legendary or a journey character or a raid character.
Yeah.
Using this on offense or defense?
Offense all the way. Yeah. This team decimates tons and tons of teams. This is an offensive team.
Yeah, this is like a go-to offense team. I think it's pretty easy to pick apart on defense, so this would be highly used on offense. And, you could take out Revan. Anybody with bad mods, pretty much. Any team with bad mods, this should slice through it.
Yep, anyone with damage, just pure damage will win the match. That's your go-to.
Okay, we're moving down the list and we're keeping going. Next, we got to talk about bounty hunters. Now, the bounty hunters is pretty much Bosk, Boba Fett, and then your best 3 bounty hunters. And I'm going to suggest to you that the Clone Wars bounty hunters, which would be like Jango Fett, Singh, and so on, and Embo, are going to be better than Dengar, Bane, and Greedo, but most people are going to have those 3. This is pretty much an auto-include defensive team, and plus you need this team to unlock Chewbacca, right?
Yeah, this is top tier, and like you're saying, you're going to need him for Chewbacca, so like 95% of people are going to have this team by now, plus Bosk is an amazing ship, so you're going to have them, and they're one of the best defensive teams.
And you're probably going to have to use Resistance to take out this team, right?
Typically. Resistance chew them up. A lot of times they won't even get a turn, but that's a big ask.
Yeah. Okay, next we're going to go down to another staple. I personally do not like this team. I don't know why.
We're in the same boat.
I don't like Kylo. I just never could get into this team, but it's everybody uses this, and a double Zeta Kylo Ren unmasked makes for a great team on defense. What are your thoughts about this team?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a First Order hater too. I think that they cost a lot for what they are, but they are a staple defensive team. It's kind of like another Zeta Bosk team, really. You have to use more than they're worth to beat them.
Yes, absolutely. High value, absolutely. All right, we're moving down the list like we're just moving along. We have to talk about Nightsisters, and I think there's 2 different ways you can play this. Yep. But I personally am a huge fan of the Nightsisters, and they almost always win on offense, too. How do you use the Nightsisters?
I am really split 50-50 on this. If it's 3s, it's always I split them on defense. But if it's 5s, a lot of times I'm leaning towards using them on offense, because if they use JTR or even Zeta Bosk, there's a lot of teams that Nightsisters really chew through. And I like having that tool in my belt to use offensively, personally.
I agree. I like these on offense because the AI does not know how to play against Nightsister Zombie, so it's almost always a win. So I highly suggest using this team on offense. It's a great team on offense. Okay, Nightsisters. Now we're going down the list. Next, we're going to talk about Resistance, and the core of this team is going to be both Rays and BB-8, and then in the last two, you can take your favorite two Resistance. You can use Holdo, you can use Poe. I personally like using Finn and Resistance Trooper, and I use this against bounty hunters. What are your thoughts about Resistance?
I think Resistance is an offensive team, personally. I'm a rather large fan of them because they can get going first, and once they're going, they can stay going with the turn meter manipulation, but I think they're an offensive team.
Yeah, offensive team. Plus, as soon as Illuminated Destiny goes off, you pretty much win. GG. You know, if you could make it through a couple rounds, that happens pretty quickly. But yeah, they're pretty easy to beat. So I think they're better on defense. Now, this is where things get a little confusing. This is basically a free-to-play Empire team, but there's, Thrawn, Magma Guard. There's a lot of different options, but I think most people have these characters ready to go. How do you use Empire?
This is like Nightsisters for me. It's a real split once again. Typically, it's offense. But I do like a cheese team for my stream where I do like Hoda, C-3PO, and Emperor Palpatine, and I call it the power plan. It's just him zapping. But I like to use them offensively, but sometimes I'll put them defensively too. So it's really split. It kind of depends on what rosters I'm facing, to be honest.
Yeah, and there's a bunch, but I think everybody has at least 4 of these characters automatically: Tarkin, Vader, Palpatine, Thrawn. In the last slot, you can use Magna Guard or something else like that.
Yeah, almost any Empire.
Yeah, or Imperial Pro-Droid is a great choice there.
Yeah.
Okay, Ewoks. I'm a huge fan of Ewoks. Well, first of all, you need Ewoks for C-3PO, right? So a lot of people had to put a Zeta on Chirpa. Have a lot of sustain. They have revives. Excellent team on defense. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so this is probably my favorite team on the list. I don't know why I'm biased towards the Ewoks. They're fun to play. They're amazing offensively. And not a lot of people know they're like the counter for First Order. You can have an undergeared, as long as you have the Zeta on the lead on Chirpa, you can have an undergeared Ewok team and beat a significantly better geared First Order team with Zetas. So it's offense for me for that reason.
Offense for you? Fair enough. Ewoks are fun, and I think a lot of people had to do Ewoks anyways for the C-3PO event.
Correct.
Imperial Troopers, last on the list. What are your thoughts about Imperial Troopers?
I think they're kind of like Ewoks 2.0. Like, they're another offensive team. They dominate a lot of teams. They're obviously the Nightsister counter. I don't know if a lot of people know, too, but they also counter Zeta Boss lead. You can kill them before they even get a turn in most cases. So offense. Yeah.
Very good. And then not making the list and just last on the list.
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. I think most people just, I think would say, well, where'd you put Phoenix? Phoenix actually is just not great anymore.
Yeah.
They seem to have fallen off quite a bit, but everybody has Phoenix. And, I think you should just throw Phoenix on defense just because. I mean, why not, Yeah,
the problem with them is they get countered by one team, right? You just put them Wampa.
Yeah. It's done, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, now, guess what time it is?
Is it time for the giveaway?
It's time for the giveaway.
All right.
I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Mad Queen Kira. This is not a scam.
I love it, dude. Torch some offensive teams.
Yeah, or dragon riding Kira. What is going on with the last season of Game of Thrones?
My lord!
I don't know if we have enough time to talk about that, but it's just, my God, I'm pulling my hair out. Like, what are they doing to this TV show? Maybe it's gonna all get wrapped up.
Dumpster fire, right? I mean, there's fire everywhere in this.
Well, literally a fire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, I am enjoying it, and we got one more episode before it's all over, but it just seems like it's kind of derailed a little bit in my mind.
They needed 6 more episodes is the thing. Like, stretch the series out 6 more episodes, it would have been fine, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, guys, head over to Darth Microtransaction's channel, and as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.